This micro-credential addresses concrete uses in agriculture and consists of 5 targeted skills. This targeted skill provides information about placing and finishing concrete. The final part of a concrete project is placing and finishing the concrete. Since the hydration reaction starts once water is mixed with the dry ingredients, there is a limited window of time in which the concrete can be delivered to the job site, placed in concrete forms, and finished before it cures to a relatively solid form. Typically, concrete is mixed in ready mix trucks at a concrete plant and then delivered to the site. Once the mix arrives at the job site, a slump test may be performed in order to test the consistency and amount of water in the mix. A slump test involves filling a tapered cone, removing the cone, and then measuring how much the resulting mix falls or slumps. More water can be added if desired to make the mix easier to work with. Before placing any concrete mix into the form, the rebar and forms should be sprayed down with water to remove any dust or debris. There also should be plenty of labor available to help place, level off, and provide the desired surface for the concrete pour. If possible, a concrete pour should be started at the farthest corner or edge and then moved to an area which is closer. Wet concrete is heavy and difficult to move over long distances. Workers commonly use wheelbarrows, shovels, and rakes to pull the wet mix to where it needs to go. When pouring large flat areas, a board or screed is used to level off the mix even with the top of the concrete form. A back and forth or sawing motion helps to settle the mix and provide a smoother surface. Foundations, walls, or other relatively deep forms should have a mechanical vibrator inserted into the concrete. This helps to minimize large gaps or voids caused by trapped air pockets and also helps the concrete to settle into the form. Once the concrete is leveled off, there is a relatively short period of time available to float the concrete or make it smooth. Often, a long-handled bull float is used to smooth down the surface initially. The bull float pushes down the larger aggregate and smooths the surface with more liquid to provide an initial smooth surface. The surface can be floated again with a wood or steel trowel to provide a very smooth surface. Some flatwork slabs are broomed or swept with a coarse bristle broom to keep them from being too smooth. The broom finish leaves small grooves and some rough areas that help provide more traction. Some livestock floors are gone over with a safety roller, which gives the surface larger grooves to help keep animals from slipping and falling on the floor. A part of the finishing process usually involves using an edging tool to provide a rounded edge along the edge of many flat surfaces. It is also a fairly common practice to place grooves at regular intervals across the entire surface to allow the final concrete structure to crack at predictable points. Both of these procedures need to be done before the concrete hardens too much. Concrete should never be allowed to freeze during the curing process. This will severely impact the strength of the concrete and may cause it to fail. Covering the concrete, adding various admixtures to speed curing, or just waiting to pour the concrete are all steps that can be taken to prevent problems when the weather may turn cold. When properly placed and finished, a concrete structure should last many years. It requires a great deal of preparation and attention to detail when constructing and bracing the forms, as well as placing the concrete, but the end result should be durable and very cost effective in the long run.